Welcome to a Monday episode of Vaygrim's Chance Season 3. I hope you had a good weekend. I'm back out here again on my little observational walkway. This is how sorting has actually panned out. We've got a really nice set of organization. Now, a lot of these are barely getting used, but a lot of them, like this one's barely getting used, but a lot of them have a lot more stuff in it. I've almost nothing in this right now. I'm going to be keeping my blood magic stuff and like my Thaumcraft stuff more in this. See, there's a lot of stuff in this one. I'm going to be keeping a lot more blood magic stuff in this specifically and not just in random chests. And I'm going to put a logistics terminal over in the magic tower. I always get turned around. So it's turned out really, really well. Yeah, I've got little bits in little places all over the place, but they are very nicely organized. They all go back to their home. I did end up doing miscellaneous mods 1 and 2. Specifically, these are smaller mods that I only have 1 or 2 working parts for, very few parts. Like Project E, most of the stuff I have in Project E is sitting around as a physical machine. The only actual like items or components I have is covalence dust, or like there is some stuff in here for Pam's Harvest Craft, but I'm probably going to end up putting a new box up here that's Pam's Harvest Craft all by itself. Like the TARDIS mod only has a couple of little things. Simply Jetpacks only has 1 or 2 little bits. Ender storage, everything like that. Forge microblocks. Now all forge microblocks go here. I'm going to start consolidating from the rest of the actual, Magic Tower. Magic Tower is the East Tower and Tech West, right? I don't know why, but I always get the directions backwards. I always think that is north, but it's actually south. It's just one of those things that I have can perpetually been turned around on with the base. Let's see. There's a really weird noise. You listen. Yeah, I really hate that noise, and you can't muffle it. I tried. The crusher is going nuts with wheat over here, and it's fabulous. I think we still have... I haven't checked wheat reserves. Oh, here's something fun I've been messing with. Let's do wheat add. Right? And it's actually going to start tracking. Like I did values for, just for random funsies, factory blocks, and for laboratory blocks. And it will actually track how much you have in stock at a given point in time. And like if I wanted to, I could track, let me think, bio? Do we have any? No, but I could do that if I wanted to. Seeds, let's say, wheat seeds. Let's add that. Actually, I'm going to hit escape on that. So if I do this right now, it hasn't done a poll yet, but basically, periodically, every like minute or two, it will update the network with the value so I can see the up and down trend to see how much wheat we're using. It's really fun. I really do like this logistics statistics table. Ooh, that needs a new name badly. And it serves pretty good. I do think it's kind of weird that it's basically just that. I mean, they basically got the texture for this machine and just went and twisted it and changed this little part. But I'm not going to complain. The sides at least look different. Yeah. But I am curious to check this. See now, it's got, 26K. And we can see if it's going to be staying up there. How quick are we using this stuff? Could I speed this machine up without risk of harming production? Oh, gosh. I actually don't want to take it that way. Still haven't put half level there. This is more complicated now. Okay, let's go over here. So this is the original machine, right? This is getting the biofuel, which is the wheat getting crushed over there. It's getting hydrogen gas and water, and it's making as a byproduct ethylene. Now the ethylene goes through this thing called a rotary condensator, and the rotary condensator turns it into liquid ethylene that gets pumped into this machine. Now this little vertical stack right here is actually getting the liquid oxygen that we have stored downstairs, and it's pumping it down here and turning it into gaseous oxygen. So it's liquid ethylene and straight up oxygen gas, plus the substrate that's getting made here, right? That's what this is. This is getting pumped under into the bottom of this, and the output are these things. These wonderful little things called, why do I have that? Let's do, is that going to be readable? It's readable. Hey, 395 HDPE pellets. So I can get a whole bunch of these. 2, 3, 4. There's a method to my madness. Okay. These things have uses. Let's go over the uses real quick. Ignore the inventory. There is no man behind the curtain. Well, okay. First of all, you can get 3, 6, 8 of these things to make an HDPE sheet. Okay. Or 4 of them to make a rod. Now, we are going to be working with sheets primarily. So you get 8 of these things and you turn it into a sheet. Or you only get 3 of them and turn them into a sheet if you put them in an enrichment chamber. So we can go over here and I can put all of those in there, and that's going to turn into 8 actual sheets. So yeah, that's going to be enough sheets for me able to bake stuff like, whoa. Oh, let's put these down here on the hot bar now. You get a plastic block, right? The recipe for this, if you take this out of the center, you get just a white plastic block. If you put dye in the middle, you get, and each one of these, this recipe makes 4 blocks. So you're making 4 colored blocks at a time, right? So you get a plastic block. That's just a purple plastic block. There's a very subtle edge around, but I mean, if you get far enough away, I can still very subtly see that edge, but I mean, it's so subtle. Now, there's also slick plastic blocks. What's the difference? I actually don't know. Slick plastic blocks are basically, what is the recipe for? There we go, recipe. I hit U for usage. I don't know why. Recipe is a normal plastic block run through the enrichment chamber again. And what that does is it gives you a slick plastic block. They look identical to me. I mean, okay. Try it this way. This is slick on this side. And this should be plastic. And see, I don't feel, I mean, it does not feel actually like legitimately slick, air quotes. It does not feel like I'm going faster. So I don't know what the difference is between these two. I have no clue. I'm going to get this and put it back up here. Now, one of the primary colors that we've actually been working with a lot of the stuff I do is purple, specifically because purple is one of the primary colors in my avatar skin. You go, oh, that's a really horrible example. Let's take, is it this button? Let's get all this stuff and take it off. You'll see, other than my funny solar panel hat, you'll see I have this purple shirt that I'm wearing, right? So it's been one of the primary colors. I'm not a big, favorite color kind of person. My favorite colors are black, white, and gray, and people find that boring. So I picked another color that was a color of my avatar, which is purple. Now, option number 2. This is kind of, I don't know, I find it okay. There's no differences other than the fact that it has a little bit of a border. So if we're going to be using these for over here, for example, all of these blocks would get replaced with this stuff. So that means that we would have a nice big solid colored stripe going up right there. And it would be the same in all 4 corners. And I think that would look pretty good. Now there's red. Red has been used a lot on the BDE. There's red accents on the outside. There's red accents on the inside. It's white and red predominantly. And when we designed it, we did that intentionally. So we do have that. Now you can get this block. You get 3 of these and combine them with glowstone, and you get glow block. Okay. Now glow block, I don't actually know if it emits light. I'm not sure. This place is pretty well lit. I'm kind of, let's see if we can find a dark spot outside. Like, I see some shadowing right here. I think it does glow a little bit. Yeah, it does. Okay. So that's weird. So, anti-blocks, you see? Anti-blocks look bright and they have connective textures, but the colors on those are so vibrant that I actually think that it might be a little distracting. So when you get this, I think having that on the inside, while neat, in terms of the fact that they glow and emit light, I think it's going to be super distracting to have those. So I don't like those. I'm leaning towards one of these two, just a straight up red block or plastic block. I'm thinking purple. That's my theory anyway. So that's what this HDPE has been, we've been getting used for it. Now, again, like I said, you get uses for this. You can make these rods. The rods get used only to make these plastics. The plastics are only used to make fencing, so you can make a white plastic barrier. I'm not sure what the merits of that is per se, but for the most part, I think it's the fact that you can make multicolored fencing, basically primary color, kind of, broad primary colored fencing, and I think that's a really cool thing for a lot of people. Substrate, we're going down on our stock of substrate really, really quick, which means this is going to slow down. So I'm actually still going to have to wait a while for a big backstock of this stuff to actually develop. Now, this stuff does have an EMC. So if I wanted to, and even, let's do 1, 2, 3. If I go down here, toss this in here. Oh, this stuff has EMC also. I don't remember declaring EMC for these things in the pack. Because I'm not even sure I knew exactly how to make all this stuff when the pack was getting put together. Somebody else might have, but I could just go ahead and, I think, does that have a, no, that does not have an EMC value. So if we got, I'm just gonna leave one there. We do this. See, those don't have EMC values. So I could, if I wanted to, get a storage barrel and just EMC in a whole bunch of these plastic sheets and put together an auto crafter down in the storage levels, in the storage and the central tower, that actually auto crafted purple blocks. And I could just request these purple blocks on demand and start doing stripes one by one by one on the outside of this actual tower. I do think it would look good. I think it would be a nice thing. I wish I could make the glowing blocks without making it so, I don't know, crazy. Do I have, let's see. Let's request one of those. I think I probably should have done it this way, but I can do it this way. And then we're going to do glowstone. I'm just going to request one of those. And you'll be able to see. So right now we have, these are plastic blocks. I'm going to bust down these slick blocks because I have no clue what purpose they have. I can now sort these in good conscience. Yep, that they will show up in the right container. See, that's a little bright. That's kind of, ooh, you know? I mean, it's nice. It would light up all the corners of the towers. But, wow. I mean, I'm not sure if that's too bright. That's one of the reasons why we go back up here. I hate that noise so badly. I go back up here, anti-block, purple anti-block. This is one of the reasons why this is only an accent, because these are so bright in general. And this is one of the perfect examples of where I used purple as an accent color around the actual observatory. It is a kind of a separation. That's a transition pattern that I did on a lot of these areas. These things have various shades of purple in them, these Futura blocks. Here's one of these transition points. There's one over here. So, yeah, in general, I love walking this outer rim. It's fun. There's just nothing. Come on, there we go. There's just nothing out here to look at. There is some construction going on, by the way, over there, but we'll get into that in a future episode. Um, let's see. I think I want to stick with purple because purple goes with a lot of things. Like, for instance, I know that the middle of a dimensional transceiver is purple. I did have to check that once, but I do know that is actually a shade of purple. We have the purple transition blocks. Technically, this is closer, I think, to the anti-blocks, but I don't want that anti-block shade, that bright, bright color. I think this would look a little bit more subtle, a little bit more understated. It's still purple, yes, but it's still the factor of I don't think it's going to be as loud and garish as that. So I think I'm just going to do straight up purple plastic blocks. Now, I think that does mean that I'm going to have to, let's see. Actually, I want to do it here, purple dye. Do we have Technicolor Essence? We do. We actually are growing Technicolor Essence. So I can actually do an auto crafter over in the storage tower, the central tower in the storage room. We could slap an auto crafter down over here somewhere on the vertical stack. Let's swap over. I'm going to get one of those. I'm going to get one of those. And I just keep piles of this stuff with me. You make big batches of it and just so you can kind of forget about it later. I'm going to put you right there. I'm going to call you Hubert. I'm going to put you right there. We go in here. I shouldn't have to do a or dictionarification. There we go. So now we can actually request on demand. Purple dye. Now, if we wanted to take that a step further and go doot, get this. And put that there. And we're going to do plastic block like that. In theory, I could do that. So I could automate some system. Oh gosh. There we go. I could automate some system. Well, we've automated the creation of the pellets. And I really don't think that I'm going to be doing fencing using the pellets themselves. So, and I mean, worst case scenario, I can now make more pellets if I need to actually make some plastics for the sake of. And see, we've lost our substrate. We're now behind the curve. I think. Actually, it's going up still. Yeah, there's one. Okay, so that's not too bad of a process. Basically, a couple of days of watching this, we'll get a stockpile up. But what I want to actually do is probably get another machine and put it right here. I'm basically just going to make an enrichment chamber. And then I'm going to item pipe straight over. I'll probably do item pipes here, pulling out of here. Do enrichment chamber over to here. And I can then, I guess I can just daisy chain power across from that. Then the enrichment chamber could export out to either the main sorting system, and we could put plastic sheets as their own little storage bin thing. That might be worth it. Ooh, maybe that might be, yeah. Let's get the remaining sheet that I just luckily have sitting around somewhere and go back to the central storage tower. So this is basically one of those things where I would love to be able to just request. There we go. Locked. It's going to have a maximum 13 stacks limit. 13 times 64. I can up that if I wanted to. Heck. Nope. Storage. 1, 2, 3. I think. Shift right click. And we do. I actually like having this on the end. Now we have a 52 stack limit. Stack limit. Or is it, wait a minute. Oh, it's 52 times limit, so it's 1,664 stacks. So it would be 1,664 times 64, which is a lot? Question mark? Anyway, we have a big metric truckload of space. So if I want to, let's do enrichment chamber right here. Right here, right now. I'm just going to request some of those. And I kind of like the ka-chunk that the Crusher does. I cannot hate the UFO hum that the PRC does. It drives me bonkers. So, go over here. I'm going to put you right here. Actually, no. Changed my mind already. Yep. I'm gonna go over to here. I need one lone item conduit. We are going to extract. Let's see. Input. Is that gonna be a thing? Insert it is, which means now these are going to start getting, they have no power, of course, but I can fix that. Wait. We have a solution for that. I'm going to request I'm going to request 3 of those. I don't know why I requested 3, but hey, whatever. It has to make them. So we're going to have to wait a second. But this is the glory of now getting the observatory to the point where we can do such eccentricities. Do I want? No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to. That's bonkers. I want to do that. And that. There we go. That's why I put it there. So now we have this thing cranking out HDPE sheets. If we want to, we can go request. How do we do ender storage? Do we actually have a spare chest sitting around? Request 1, please. And I'm trying to remember what the main sorting colors are. Because they don't say on the sorting pouches. Let's go look. I'm going to zip through here. White. Okay, I really could have guessed that. Probably could have. Dun. So now, go here. I can resort that. I need le bon meal. I actually do need 3 of that. That will come trucking over from the tower. It actually has to come over from the monster tower, but whatever, the monster dome. We can now put this. I'm actually going to put it down and color it first. Then. Whoa. Where'd you go? Oh, there you are. I have you. Put you right there. We're going to do output, auto eject on. So now those are getting auto sorted, which means if we come over here and we're going to do add, we can do sheet. Add. So now suddenly we can actually start tracking slowly but surely, remotely, exactly how much of this we can have. We can see how much production is going up over time. It tracks on a 15-minute window, and I can actually see efficiency happening, which is crazy. So I'm going to let the HDPE sheets build up in quantity. We're basically just going to see how much of that we're going to be getting on a regular basis. Let's see, wheat. You see wheat is going down. It's at 26K, but it's basically going down from 26K and change, and high change to 26K and low change, and it goes up a little bit. We're going to see seeds are not actually getting used that much. I'm not pumping those over to those anymore. I'm using other seeds for that purpose now. Wrong block. Biofuel. You can see stock reserves of biofuel go up and up. So the crusher is actually working at greater efficiency than the PRC is, which is good, question mark. But yeah, you can see our reserves going, our stocks going up and up and up on that kind of stuff. The production line is slowing down, but that's fine. Yeah, I think it's going to be great once we actually get all of this stuff finally situated. We get it all sorted. We still have tons, you see. 626 right there. And that's basically staying stocked full of 64. I think I'm just going to go with these. They're going to look darker, but that's fine. They're still going to bring a little bit of interest and kind of pop to these inside walls. It's going to be like over here. It's going to be this one, this one, this one, and this one. Those four all the way up. All the way up the tower on the outside of this tier will be this color purple. And then we actually go down here. It's going to be these three. 1, 2, 3. Might be 2 on the outside. I can't remember. Anyway, yeah, it's going to look really good. I think it is. It's going to help kind of bring a little bit more depth and dimension to the outside of the building itself. Yeah, see, it's more out here. 1, 2, 3. No, it's not. I lied. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, yeah. So it is 4 on the outside. And then down here, it is 1, 2, 3. You see? So it's going to look good. It'll widen out as it gets higher up on the structure. And it's going to look magnificent. We'll do the same thing on the central tower, as is the outer towers. And the whole thing is going to start just generally looking better. A lot less of just a white floating object. And that's the thing, is that from above, it looks good and it looks interesting. Because we have, if we come up here, we have cool little patterns like this in the ground. And we actually have these glowstone trim on a lot of the walkways. And there's trees and stuff like that. But from the ground, it's a large floating object of white. And that's about it. And that's really what I want to start giving some more zing and some pop and visual appeal to. So I'm not going to use microblocks. I kind of want to use microblocks, but I do have a little bit of a worry that microblocks are going to impact people's FPS. Microblocks are still not 100% bulletproof performance-wise in 1.7.10. So yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to stick with full blocks, and then we'll work from there. I am going to catch you folks later. Thank you very much for joining me on this weird and plasticky episode of Vaygrim's Chance. I will catch you later. Bye.